We sent a survey to over 10,000 retirees, and these are their responses. Check this out. So these are the questions we asked. We said, have you already retired? So I'm going to do it with you real quick. Yes, I'm retired. How financially prepared did you feel when you were retired? Let's just say 7 out of 10. Which of these common retirement fears resonate with you most? Running out of money. Yep. Declining health, boredom, etc. So we were asking people, what was your biggest fear? And we kept going on, and we got amazing responses that I'm going to share with you in today's video. This is not my traditional video where I go through a case study in depth. This is where we're talking about the real regrets from people who retired and wish they did something differently so that you do not make that mistake. We're going to go over the key findings right now. So check this out. This is from August 2025. Of course, depends when you are watching this, but it's always going to resonate regardless of when you are. And here's what we're exploring. Okay, how prepared are people financially for retirement? What are the common fears, advice and regrets they have for you, and then the role of a financial advisor? And so these are the high level results. Okay, so the big numbers, we had 910 people respond. 48% of them were retired, 43% plan to retire in 5 years, and 9% are over 5 years away. These were the top concerns. Number 1, declining health. Number 2, running out of money. Number 3, regret about not retiring sooner. 4, losing a sense of purpose. And 5, boredom. We can see here a feeling of financial preparedness is a 7.9 average here. And then how many of them work with an advisor? You can see here, 50% do, 43.8% do not, and then 6% used to, but no longer do. We can see here, how prepared do people actually feel? So for those retiring in 5 years, 24% of them feel very prepared. Over half are in the middle, and about 15% are unprepared. Those that are 5 years plus out, only 15% feel prepared, 50% in the middle, and 24% feel unprepared. And those are already retired. The confidence jumps because they are in it. So 46% feel prepared, 40% neutral, and just 8% unprepared. Now, if you're unfamiliar, my name is Ari. I am a CFP, and I love talking about retirement topics, specifically early retirement. So if this content resonates, I invite you to subscribe. I could just continue to read this PowerPoint type of presentation, but you know I've got to insert my own stories and feelings with all of this, or else I'm just doing a weird TED Talk here. So the biggest thing that I can tell you is from people who want to retire is they'll say, you got to practice retirement before you get there. That's something I don't want you to freak out about. So I view part of my job is to advise you, hey, here's when it makes sense to do Roth conversions and why you should maybe delay collecting Social Security, even if you want to turn it on, because it's going to take less pressure from your portfolio. So I know you want it on, but if we do, that's going to impact your Roth conversion effectiveness, or it's going to impact whether or not your spouse chooses to keep working. So I'll get into those topics. That's not what I'm doing today. Today, I want to share with you some more insights and stories on what really retirement looks like. Now, here's the best way to learn. Listen to people who have retired. Right now, I'm going to go through in more detail the stats, but if you want to actually hear, this is my new show, Retirement Reality. This was my first guest, Slava, who retired at 53 and didn't start saving till his mid-30s. You can see the full video right here. It's a 46-minute interview where he is sharing transparently what was it like when he retired. Those videos come out every single Saturday, so if you want to actually hear from retirees who are living it right now, I encourage you to check those out. So what are the 3 big takeaways so far? Number 1, retirement status and preparedness. On average, those already retired reported the highest level of financial preparedness with an average score of 8.29. I can tell you the reason for that is because they're in retirement. They already are feeling confident because the biggest fear was the unknown. Those planning to retire within the next 5 years, an average of 7.68. Those with retirement more than 5 years away report the lowest at 7.11. Some advice for those approaching retirement. You can see what people say is when asked to give advice in their own words, people constantly emphasize starting early, always saving, planning, making the most of your time. Those feel obvious to me, but they say, yes, Roth accounts, obviously for tax advantages, but the bigger thing was balance. Know yourself, stay healthy, and enjoy life along the way. And then here are their stats regarding financial advisors. Now, let's be honest, I have a huge bias. I'm a financial advisor, but I'm also the weird advisor that says, here's when it makes sense to work with someone, and here's when it does not, because my parents were burned by multiple advisors, which is eventually what prompted me to become a financial advisor, because they were great at making money, which is very different from investing for retirement. So you can see what people say here is working with an advisor didn't prove to guarantee confidence. About half of people in every group had an advisor. The real difference seems to be mindset and comfort with money. not just whether you hired someone to help you manage it. So by no means am I going, look, guys, tooting our horns, I'm an advisor, you're just not going to worry. The best relationships are advisors, in my opinion, who work with clients as a partnership, which is why I'll often tell someone, if you want to hire us, we're not going to become your CEO. And people are like, I don't like that. I'm hiring you to delegate, not worry about this anymore. I go, no, you're hiring us to be a partner. You're still the CEO. We are the CFO. It's our job to work together for the ultimate goal of you living a great life. The stats here show that those with high preparedness, scores 9 to 10, 53% had an advisor and 41% did not. Moderate, 7 to 8 score, 50% had an advisor, 45% without. And then those with low preparedness, 43% advisor and 49% without. Now let's get to the fun stuff. I mean, it's all fun, okay? And tell me below if this is resonating, because I know it's not my traditional video. But you can see retirees, those already retired, what do they wish they'd done sooner? So I just said done, but you know I meant done. Okay, so looking back, here's what they said they'd prioritize earlier. Taking better care of health. Now, let me pause on that, because everyone's like, I got to take better care of my health. Yes, but I'm almost saying don't beat yourself up, because if right now you're sitting, like I'm sitting, and you're at a desk for a long period of time, or you do something that doesn't allow you to prioritize your health, well, that's just the job. So sometimes there's only so much you can do. And you can go, yeah, I'm going to stretch later when I get home from work, or I'm going to watch TV and then I'm going to do a short workout, and then that never happens. What I find is those that actually are retired, when you have a lot of time, that's when you can truly prioritize your health. And I'm not just saying this to make you feel good, but I have one lady who's going to come on my retirement reality show very soon, and she was not able to prioritize her health. She worked constantly, and when she retired, she had 3 years, and it's like, I got my health back. There's certain things I never got back, but when you do retire and you have tons of time, please go prioritize. So let's go back to the stats. Spend more time with friends and family, travel more, save more money, retire earlier. The average age of retirement ranged between 40 to 76, with 60 as that average. What percent work with an advisor? 56% yes, 38% no, and 6% no longer. Now, what prepared retirees want you to know? Those who score 9 or 10 above. Okay, so here are some phrases. Start living on your retirement income budget several years before you retire, so the transition is easier. Become a student of retirement. Ask any questions that come to your mind. Once you have a sound financial model, don't hesitate to shift focus to maximizing the joy you experience. I love that example. And once you have a sound model, start looking at what can you do to maximize your joy. Giving yourself grace. I love this one. Date your spouse now, so being together will be Together more will be a delight, not drudgery. I like that one. Okay. So going on here, we asked the most confident retirees for their one piece of advice. 7 themes came through loud and clear. Number 1, plan and save. A solid plan solves all problems. Get your MRI diagnosis. Retire sooner. Don't get stuck in one more year. How many of you do this? Be honest. One more project, one more year, then I'm finally done. I hear it all the time. Poor health will limit your activities more than lack of money. Yes, I talk about this a lot. I had a woman who had $3 million. She was so upset she had $3 million. I said, look, lady, there's people that would love to have $3 million. So why are you upset? And she said, well, I didn't need $3 million. I needed $2 million. I said, well, what's the problem? You have 3. That's better. That's more. She goes, you're not listening. I don't need $3 million. And now I have $3 million, but I don't have my health as much. And so I can't travel. If I had $2 million, I could have still traveled. I said, that's a powerful story. Having purpose. Don't retire from something, retire to something. I can't wait to retire from my boss, and I can't wait to retire to freedom. Just an example. Invest in your relationships, dating your spouse. Keep learning, asking questions, and then you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. Time is the only non-renewable currency. Let's move on to the ready in 5 crowd. So for those who are retiring in the next 5 years, we asked what they do differently or sooner, and these were their main answers. Save more money. Nearly 30%. Take better care of health, spend more time with friends and family. Most in this group aim to retire around age 60, though a few plan to work longer. You can see here what most people are saying is it's health insurance, it's long-term cognitive decline. That's what we're worried about. And my biggest fear has always been running out of money, which leads to my biggest hurdle, which will be switching from a saver to a spender, which we see all the time. Let's talk a little bit more wisdom. Love, marriage, and a lot more time together. So these are more fears from those approaching retirement within 5 years, is being home with my spouse all the time. And if any of these resonate and they are you, put it in the comments below so we can learn from each other. That those will be the most difficult marriage years, relationships with spouse, annoying my wife because I have too much time on my hands. These are real responses, guys. And wisdom from those already retired, date your spouse now, so being together is a delight. Don't take loved ones and friends for granted. Never fun to talk about, but we never know when someone will pass. This is the not yet club. So the club that's not quite there, not just those big three, but when we asked what they'd focus on earlier in life, people then more than 5 years away said, hey, it's travel and it's meaningful work. And they're talking about experiences and purpose and saving more money and spending more time with family. Now, what stands out for the not yet club is fewer are working with advisors, only about 35%, and their average retirement age that they're targeting is 60. Their biggest fears still circle around money, health, and timing, with uncertainty about markets and inflation adding extra weight there. Now, retired but not ready, so those who scored 6 or below in terms of financial readiness, know your expenses. It's all built from that. Start cutting back on work hours and start planning what you want to spend your time doing. Start planning for it in your 30s. Do what you enjoy while you enjoy it. Invest more in Roth than regular 401ks. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, and it should depend on your own situation. I have a video where I talk in depth about what makes most sense for you, traditional 401k or Roth 401k, and you can check that out. Now, what is the conclusion? What should we think about? What did we literally learn today? Money matters, but so does meaning. So saving and financial security are top fears, yet many wish they'd focus more on health, relationships, and purpose. Do you fall in that bucket? Let me know below. Health is wealth, so poor health was named just as often as running out of money as the biggest retirement fear. That is powerful. Timing is tricky, and there's lots of retirees that regret waiting too long, while those still working fear going too early. Purpose and connection, of course, count. So boredom, identity, loss, strained relationships. I have a pro tip here. Before someone retires, I will often recommend they go watch this documentary. In and of itself, it's a magic show, so it might not be totally up all of your alley, but it's a magic show that touches on identity and humanness and purpose in such a powerful way. I find a lot of clients that are about to retire go, wow, I feel so much better and more prepared after watching this documentary. So I get no commission from Derek here, but I encourage you to watch that. And then finally, the most confident people, they're stress planning. They're living with purpose. The least confident, they're stressing, I should have saved earlier, and they're avoiding regrets. So hopefully this was helpful. Just real regrets, real survey responses, not my traditional video, but want to put a little bit of a spin on it with this survey. We asked so many people. You can see over 900 responded, and these were their responses. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you want to work with Root to help optimize all of this so you can spend your time in retirement doing what you want to do, it's what we'd love to help with. And you can go to our website, rootfinancial.com. In the upper right, you'll see a little button that says see if you're a fit. Click on that, answer a few questions, and then we might be talking very soon. See you guys.